All right. I think we're live. Let's see. Want to make sure that we are live. Yes, we are. Everybody, good morning. We are here and we are live. Let me know if you can hear me. Actually, let's see. I'm gonna test out some audio stuff here. Just want to make sure because a couple of times I go live, it doesn't necessarily show up. So give me just a few seconds. If you're hearing this on the replay, that's fine. Let me see here. Let's see. Yep, I can hear myself. So, good morning. Hey everybody, this is Head and Shoulders ATR, where we cover athletes, performances, and coaches that are head and shoulders above the rest. We're going to do a recap here. As you see, accidentally slips, Arkansas sweeps NCAA Indoor Champs 2023. What that really means is that they were not coming in expected to win the women's. It like Texas had what they said, a 22 or a 25 point lead over everybody else. But then they did. Arkansas just came out and performed. You know, they just came out and performed. And, you know, that is, hey, this, all it proves to me is that whatever you see on paper isn't necessarily the final result. That's why we run. I really like high school and collegiate track and field, sometimes a little bit more than a professional level, because you get athletes to run in multiple events and you really do see the range of a lot of athletes. You got athletes that were running the distance medley relay that came back to run the mile. You had athletes running in like, yeah, you get some 400 hurdlers that will run the 800, right, at the pro level, but then some of them don't. Then you get a Sydney McLaughlin. She does not touch that 800 no matter what. At least I haven't seen her touch one. She's kind of allergic to it. So you get other approaches where everybody's going at the lower levels. But at the NCAAs, you can see an athlete running in a whole bunch of different events. Like at the 4x4, you had the 800 athletes that were running in, and one of the guys anchored for Arkansas, and he's an 800, a freshman. He's an 800 guy, and he was able to anchor for Arkansas. Then you got the 400 hurdlers running in the open four. You don't see that at the USA championships, at the Jamaican championships a lot of times. Sometimes you do, you get one or two, but you don't really see too many. And maybe it's because the schedule doesn't allow for it. Maybe it's because the professional coaches aren't in the same way. You're not running for teams. I say it's because of the team thing. What do you guys think? And while I'm giving this slight monologue ahead of time, I actually have two OBSs. I got the Streamlabs, which stole all this stuff from OBS. And then I got OBS Studio or whatever. And I put all of the images I wanted there over there. So I'm trying to bring them over now. So you're going to see it on the screen. So give me a few moments. I got to drag a bunch of things over to this one. So you're about to see Caitlin Tui on the screen. Or I guess not. Let's try that again. Okay. We got Caitlin Tui right here. Okay, let's fit this right here. But anyway, ignore that for now. We're going to cover her later. We're going to cover a few athletes later. Let's close this other one because it's starting to close down. What do you guys think? What was the most exciting event for you all that saw it? Some people here, they listened to the recap and they didn't watch it. What was the most exciting to you? Because right now what I'm looking at is really that 400. I look at the mile. Shout out to University of Illinois, U of I. All right. That was like my second home for school. That's been my favorite university. That and Stanford. Those have been my favorite two since I was a small child, 4, 5, 6 years old. I remember U of I dominating. I think it was 96 in basketball, and that left an impression on me. And I've been to U of I almost as many times as I've been to Southern Illinois University in Carbondale, where I went to college at. So it was very nice to see an Illinois athlete take the mile. So that was something there. Then we got Julian Alfred. She's going to be on the screen in a second if this allows me to drag it over. Who's Greg? Wait a minute. Somebody said, "Welcome back, Greg. Haven't heard from you in a long time." Hold on. Who's Greg? I don't even know if there's I don't even know if there's a person that comments that's named Greg. I'm trying to think of the other people that are on YouTube. Maybe it's somebody on Instagram, but Greg. I think that's a typo. But yeah, so that's Julian Alfred. We got Nugent. She's obviously over there dominating and everything. Here we go. Let's put her up on the screen. I'm trying to fit everything over here. But yeah, it is. I don't know. I went live stream just yesterday, I think. Yeah, I just hit the stream, or on Friday. Today's Sunday. Everything's going so quickly. Then we got this daylight savings time, so it threw off the time a little bit. But yeah, everything, all of this has been pretty good. Let's bring her over. We got one more. I'm gonna leave the rest of the images just so I can start getting into the coverage now, because I can't bring over all the guys here. So let's go ahead and do this. Some of these things I'm gonna miss out on the collegiate records and everything. I'm gonna go to Watch Athletics for the results, because quite frankly, okay, I got an ad blocker going on. They want us to show the ads. They're gonna keep popping this up. Some of these things I'm gonna miss the collegiate record on and whatnot. Excuse that one, but let's get this going. Let's go ahead. Let's share this screen. Let's share this screen. Where are we at? Okay, here we go. Let's zoom in here. Okay, so we're going to start with the women's pole vault. Going to the women's results here. Let's start with that. Then we'll go. All right, not stopping my ad blocker. Sorry, Watch Athletics. Definitely here. So obviously, here are the results here. Fasal from Arkansas. And like I said, Arkansas, the women's side, it wasn't as expected for them to take it, because Texas was just, they had the C's, they had the athletes. They were expected to just kind of take this and run away from it, and just dominate everybody. And that kind of happens with Texas. You would expect Texas or Texas A&M. There were some surprises here. So I'll go here. We got Amanda Fasol of Arkansas, the junior. She took the win based on the count back, where they had a tie, but a count back right there, a 4.45 meter vault. That's 14 feet, 7.25 inches. Then we got Olivia Luking in second for Oklahoma. Marlene Muller for South Dakota. And y'all know that pole vault is my favorite event. And then followed by there's triple jump and long jump, which is funny because I coach those. Or I have coached them in the past, because I might have mispronounced that. But there you go. So we're going to move on, because I know my audience here is not big on that. Let's go here. Then we got the long jump. We're going to go through the field events first. Oh, yeah. And so with the women's long jump, we had some athletes coming over doing the long jump and coming over and doing the 60 meter. If I'm not mistaken, Charisma Taylor, she was in the middle of her long jump, and then she went over and did the 60 meter hurdles, and she winded up getting third there. So that was actually pretty good. I don't know if that hurt her long jump. Sometimes it does, but hey, you're a collegiate athlete. You got to do all the events. That's where it is. Okay, shout out to you, Joshua. Shout out to you. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, so I'll be having content every day. So if you don't see it, here's the thing, because I noticed with YouTube, they don't show the channels as much, because somebody was like, show this to your audience. And it's like, I did everything I could. How am I not going to, quote, show it to my audience? I'm uploading videos. And so they were like literally yelling at me saying, show this to your audience. It's like, why would I not show it? Because it actually makes me money to show the videos. So if you guys don't see something in there will literally be a video virtually every day. So just go to the channel, go to the videos, and go to the live section. Manually click those. Most of them will be the videos. I will be doing a live stream every Sunday now for the rest of the year, unless I do something in the community tab. So if you're looking for the content here, we have a video, a live stream at least. Okay, looks like my rabbit's going crazy. Hold on just a second. If y'all hear that sound in the background. So here we go. Anyway, we got Jasmine Moore of Florida, the junior. She came away with the win, personal best, world leading mark, championship record. Man, it's a facility record. I don't know what CL means, but yeah, she set the it looks like the collegiate record here. So she got this and blew it away. Now remember, in New Mexico, I don't know what the new thing is with World Athletics and everybody starting to count the altitude as, hey, you know what? We're not going to count this as different, because usually they make a big deal of it, or they put an A mark. But I know that that's happened before where they've counted altitude marks in the past, but then they kind of go back and forth. I guess it's a new way to say, hey, we can run these times faster. So remember, this is at altitude, so it's going to allow the sprinters to come away and run faster than they normally would. All right, they're gonna come away and go faster than they normally would. So here's a 7.03 meter jump by Jasmine Moore of Florida, the junior. Akeelia Smith in second, 6.88 meters. You see all of these personal bests as you go down here, equaled the personal best down here. Congratulations to these ladies. Claire Bryan of Florida, so they got the 1-3. There's some vital points there. Texas, they were expecting to come away with the win there, but just not quite getting there. Alyssa Jones, Stanford, the freshman, 6.74 meters in fourth. And then Charisma Taylor, like I said, she won, and she got a bronze in the 60 meter hurdles, but she got fifth here. Let's go back to all the results. Okay, let's go and get this weight throw here. Yeah, you know what? I'm looking for this outdoor, and I think I'm going to try to cover some more meets. I just got so many different things. Believe it or not, I actually got, 5 YouTube channels now? So I cover a bunch of events, including world news and whatnot. And then I got other groups, so it kind of pulls me away. But I've noticed I've had to do dedicated things here. I had to actually re-record content here, so that's pushed me back a few days. But then I'll have things that are just coming out every day, like I said. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to outdoor. Me particularly, I'm looking at the field events. Those are my most favorite events, but they don't really, they're covering them better, but they don't cover them as good. They just don't cover them as good. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it, and especially in that 400 and 400 hurdles. Maybe McLaughlin and Muhammad, they're having it. They're having their way in it. Muhammad's always ready for championships, so as long as she's not hurt, I still look at her as a strong contender to get, if not the win, a second. So, but anyway, here's the weight throw championships. Jelani Davis of Ole Miss. Hey, shout out to Coach Connie Price Smith. Shout out to Coach Connie. That was our old coach at the head coach at Southern Illinois University, Carbondale, and she always produced throwers. I mean, she gets those throwers. They show up at the Olympics, in the World Championships. It don't matter if they're an American. She had our Bahamian teammate. Occasionally, I speak back and forth to her on my Facebook and everything. You know what? I think I should try to see if I can invite her on to here. But anyway, she just, no matter where she goes, and she transferred to Ole Miss, she has athletes. As you can see, her other Ole Miss athlete right here, Jasmine Mitchell. They got first and third. When you see her athletes, you'll just see them at the Olympics, and you won't even realize, like, hey, in that top 5 and 10 list, and sometimes winning or getting. It depends on the event, because what's her name from one of the Nordic nations? She just kind of dominates. But yeah, that's some things that you all might not know that I would know. So Jelani Davis with the win, 24.51 meters with the throw. Shelby Frank in second from Minnesota. Congratulations to her. Jasmine Mitchell, another Ole Miss athlete, in third, 23.14. So there you go. Congratulations. And then we got a Midwest. Okay. All-American Chloe Lindman from Wisconsin, 22.97. That's good. Then we got a couple of personal bests. Taylor Latimer of Nebraska and Marie Forbes. So this is going to be good. I wonder what's going to happen to Davis and Mitchell when we come outdoor. I just wonder what's going to happen. I always like to see that. So let's go over to the high jump. We're going straight in order for these events. Then I'm going to switch around to the pentathlon and then get to the sprint events in just a second. But let's go over to the high jump. Oh, yeah, and don't forget, share this with other people. The more you share it, the more the notifications for everything pop up. So here we go for the high jump. We're going to go through this one a little bit quicker. Lamara Diston, 1.91 meters. Congratulations to her on the win for Texas A&M, the senior. We got Riley Anderson of Kansas in second. And then we got Elena Kulichenko in third, representing Georgia. So those are your top three. Let me see here. I could go through a little bit more on the high jump, but we're going to go through this a little bit quicker just because. Okay. All right. This is going to pop up every time. We got the triple jump right here. Jasmine Moore once again coming back with another. So in the long jump, she won. The triple jump, she won. She set another collegiate record. So she's coming through on both of them. Charisma Taylor. You know what? I wonder. No, it was the long jump and the 60-meter that were going on, or the 60-meter hurdles that were going on at the same time. I don't think it was the triple. But anyway, but I could be wrong. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that one. I know she had to come in between her jumps, though. So Jasmine Moore, Florida, she is just out here setting records. 15.12 meters. Congratulations to that. But these world-leading marks, of course, for collegiate athletes, because of drug testing and everything, they don't really count because they got different drug testing rules. So they don't count, even though this is technically a world-leading mark. But, hey. Anyway, we got Charisma Taylor, personal best. We look at all these personal bests. Like I said again, I just wonder what is the real boost here at the altitude. Charisma Taylor in second, personal best, Tennessee. We got Achilles Smith coming back from the long jump as well. 14.29. Taylor with the 14.88. Makisha, welcome. 14.21. And then so on and so forth. I'll be here for a while if I went through all of them. Congratulations to the ladies there. All right, let's go over to the shot put. All right, let's go over to the shot put real quick. All right, the women's shot put. We got Adelaide Aquila from Ohio State, the senior personal best, 19.28. Axelina Johansson, 19.12. Rosa Santana, 18.43. That's what your top three are. Congratulations to the ladies over there in the shot put. We got some Ole Miss athletes that made it into the final in that top 10. We got Jelani Davis. I always like to point out my old coach, Jasmine Mitchell. So she had the weight throw, but not quite on the shot put. And that's kind of how some of the athletes are. So let's go over to the women's pentathlon and look at the results here and the scores. So what winded up winning, we got a... Okay. We got Jaden O'Brien. I wonder. You know what? I didn't really get to see too much of the pentathlon or see anything about that. I'm gonna have to look up Jaden O'Brien. I wonder if she's related to our Olympian and / announcer. But anyway, from Notre Dame. So congratulations to her on the win. 4,512 points, personal best. Then we got Allie Jones in second, 4,440. Pippi Loda Enoch in third from Oklahoma, 4,400 points. So let's go ahead and go back. And we had a couple of athletes that have run the heptathlon on the men's side that came back in that 4x4. So that's very interesting. And then we had a couple of pentathletes in that 4x4 in that final two, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see. What else are we going to do? We're going to go to the women's distance medley relay. It said, what's my thought on MVP taking on the Clayton twins? I think they will get even better. Monstrous. I'll get that in a second. I'll talk about that when I get to the 60, and I'll get to that in a second. So I'll hold that thought. So let's see. What is this? The distance medley relay. So we got facility record. Okay. I had to remember that because I was like, I don't think they set a collegiate record, but yeah. So Stanford ladies winded up getting that. They got a 10:56.34. 10 minutes, 56:34. Then we got Arkansas in second, and that came down really to the wire at the end. Then we got Notre Dame. So Arkansas was putting in some work here with the distance medley relay, which is actually them, in my opinion, overperforming. Given the no, you know what? Actually, they do have Arkansas has actually had a more balanced team as of late. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, in the last few seasons, they've had a more balanced team. I'm thinking of being stuck in the 90s or something. But Arkansas actually does have a more balanced team as of late. Then Notre Dame, my old coach at SIU, he's over there right now. If I'm not mistaken, is that Coach Sparks. Unless there was a coaching change in the last year or two, I think the old coach, my old coach is there now, the distance coach. 10:59:46. Actually, Coach Sparks, I think, was the head coach, and Coach Connie Price Smith was our weight coach at SIU. Now that I think about it, because I remember her being our cross country coach, but I think he was head track coach too. Let's go ahead back here. Let's go over. Let's get a sprint event in here. Let's get the 400. So we got Britton Wilson. Now, a lot of people were really big up in Femke Bowl and everything like that, and I gotta put it another way. Okay, Femke Bowl runs the 400 hurdle. Wilson runs the 400 hurdles, but she's obviously not in that same range as any of the top athletes just yet. But she's been showing a lot of range. She ran that 202 3 weeks ago now, or maybe it was 2. She ran that 2 or 3 weeks ago now, a 202 in the 800. She's got a 49:48. She has broken and slaughtered the collegiate record. She broke the previous world record. If there wasn't a world record already, this would have been qualified for that. But I just wonder, would it qualify, quote unquote, qualify for a world record? Because they don't have the drug testing the same. So they would have been like, yeah, world record, and then it wouldn't have been counted. Just like Sha'Carri Richardson's times in college winded up not being ratified because they got different drug testing rules. So it's just kind of like, yeah, we're going to announce it because it's exciting, and then nothing happens after that. But second best time all time. This is technically the American record, but I'm not sure it's going to be counted because drug testing. That's what it is. NCAA does not follow what World Athletics has for their drug testing standards, so that's not going to be there. But I'm still going to celebrate this because, hey, a 49:48, where I think she might want to consider running the Open 4. Let's see how this translates outdoor. She might want to consider running the Open 4. And I'm going to do a whole video on Britton Wilson. And then Rashida Adeleke, She winded up doing pretty good. Doesn't she run for Ireland, if I'm not mistaken? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she runs for Ireland, and they were pretty excited for her. But she ran by herself in Section 1, and that was good enough to get second. So congratulations to her for having that. Because Talitha Diggs, some people were saying, hey, if she didn't, if Wilson didn't have to pass Diggs and then move slightly to the outside, then it would have been even faster. But hey, you know what? Maybe she could have ran that fast because of Talitha Diggs. Let's look at it that way, right? And so Wilson and Diggs, they're going to be going at it. They're in the same category. They're both sophomores. They've both been kind of, I was going to say, digging at each other, especially with Talitha Diggs winning last year. So let's see what happens. Yeah, this is really good. What do you guys think on this one? Because I think this is going to be a good matchup. Is this it? Nope, that's not it. I didn't have these labels. So here's Britton Wilson at the interview, and I'm really looking forward to what she's going to do outdoor. I'm very, very excited about this. I am very excited about this in this 400 and in the 400 hurdles. But congratulations to Wilson for setting that championship collegiate record. I look forward to seeing that, and congratulations to Adeleke and Diggs. So let's go over to 3,000 and then the mile. Actually, we got to do 3,000, 5,000. So we're going to do 5,000 first. That happened first the day before. We got Caitlin Tui. Man, I don't know what type of record she's not getting. She got the collegiate record in the mile. She doesn't really run that. She's got the collegiate record in the 3,000. I'm not sure if she has a 5,000, but hey, she might have got that. And she's just a sophomore at North Carolina State. So NC State athlete Caitlin Tui, congratulations, 16.965 with the win. And altitude actually hurts the distance runners. It helps the sprinters, but it hurts the distance runners. So in this case, these times could be even quicker, as it were. But it's 16.965 for Caitlin Tui with the win. Hilda Olomomoy, 16.1108 for Alabama. Then we got another Alabama, so they went second and third. Chelangat, she's been kind of dominating and doing very well. Mercy for the last few years, so this is going to be her final year there. She's been doing pretty well. I would like to see her going out. If she can't beat Tui outdoor, at least get that second place. I like to see her really give it a go when it comes outdoors. So 16.1163. So congratulations to those women there. Let me see if I missed out on somebody that's an honorable mention here. Everybody is doing pretty well. So then we're going to go over to the... Oh, wait a minute. Do I still got the... No, I took the image off. Here we go. So this is Caitlin Tui right here, giving her interview after the 3,000. So let's put her other event that she won up here. Then we're going to go to another sprint event. Oh, yeah, they said Brianna Williams finally departed from Otto Bolton. Hope the shackles will fall from now. Rubbing my hands. Did I actually make a video? Y'all, did I make a video about Brianna Wilson? Williams dropping Otto Bolton? Well, I wouldn't say dropping, transferring. Because even as they said it, they said Otto has helped her find a new coach. And he said, hey, it was time for her to go on. And I think he's actually said that before. He said, hey, look, I might be good for a certain time. And then, athletes, if they need to move on to other coaches. So it wasn't like it was just like Brianna Williams. That was the only athlete. But she's got a goal on the relay. So let me stick to this real quick before I speak on that. So we got the women's 3,000. Caitlin Tui with another win, coming back after the 5,000 the day before. Obviously, that's in her legs. They get even less rest between these events than the professional athletes, because these are 2-day events. So, hey, you got to be in shape. We got Caitlin Tui with the win, 9:10.07. We got Olivia Merkazic, 9:13.01. Taylor Rowe of Oklahoma. Oh, Notre Dame. So that's my old coach. coaching Olivia Murkazich. So that is pretty good. Then we got Taylor Rowe, Oklahoma State, 9-13-22. Congratulations to those ladies there. And then our early leader kind of fell off. I think that was Hilda that was leading that race. And so let's go over to another sprint event. Let's go over to the 200 real quick. Let's go over to the 200. All right. So actually, let's do this in the proper order in which that goes. It's supposed to be 60 meter and then the 200. So instead, what I'm going to do is let's go over to the 60 meter hurdles. All right. So I think this is a very, very interesting thing to cover here. So here was Charisma Taylor. So I was correct. She did get that bronze. It was in the middle of her, I think it was in the middle of her long jump. I'm almost certain. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. She came over. She was in the middle of jumps, came over, did the 60 meter hurdles. Unfortunately, Yanla fell over on, what was it, the 5th hurdle? That actually looked pretty bad. She was holding her hip. So hopefully she's good. But it looks like she might have stretched or pulled something. I don't know when she fell, because that was an actual nasty fall. And I don't know what falls aren't nasty in the hurdles, because I mean the 60 and 100 meter hurdles is kind of like NASCAR, where some people are just waiting for somebody to crash up and kind of mess up, and that's their entertainment. So for y'all type of people, come on now. I don't want to see somebody fall over. But yeah, this one looked pretty bad for UCLA's Yanla. Somebody, if y'all could try to do some research to see if she's okay or not, and let me know, that would be great. I couldn't find any information either way. But anyway, we got Akira Nugent. She has been pretty dominant. She's been pretty dominant as a youth. And now that she's in the collegiate field, last year, didn't she have that ankle problem? So she couldn't run at the Jamaican champs, if I'm not mistaken, and could not run an NCAA outdoor. So it was kind of like missed opportunity. It was a missed opportunity last year. So long as she's healthy, we are going to see what she's going to be able to put out. And so far, like she said, hey, look, Masai Russell, she's good in her own right. But at the end of the day, I come in and I am ready for championships. That's what she said. She was like, hey, I come in and I am ready for championships. She said, I'm ready for those championships. Let me look for something real quick, if I have it here. Here we go. Yeah, she said she's ready for the championships. And this is her. She set the national record, so congratulations to her. She set the collegiate record at the same time. Then she came back and won the next day, because it's one thing you could set a record in the prelims and everything, and a few athletes have done that over the course of the history of track and field, and then they come by and then they don't win the championship, which kind of gets kind of awkward. Especially if you do something in the prelims. Then everybody will say, well, you know, they used all their energy there. And sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes your body just doesn't have it. But she had it. She was ready. So she set the national record. She set the collegiate record. And now she's got the championship. What do y'all feel about that? I know my audience is a large Jamaican audience. So what do you all feel about that? Then Masai Russell for Kentucky in second. So the win was 7.73 seconds for the win in the 60 meter hurdle. 7.75 in second. Charisma Taylor coming away with the third, 7.93. Leah Phillips, the only other athlete to break 8 seconds, 7.95 personal best. Congratulations to these ladies right here. Okay, let's go over to the 800. I'm going to go through that a little bit. Oh, no. What happened? Let's go back. Okay. So we got the this is very interesting between the two Stanford athletes right here, because as a youth, they were literally on separate teams competing at each other at so many meets and everything. And now they're on the same team, which is very, very interesting. And this makes Stanford very dangerous in the 800. But Rosen Willis, meet record, facility record, I guess it's championship lead or collegiate lead, personal best, 159.93, not quite the championship record. Then we got Juliet Whitaker, or Julie Whitaker, as she goes by as well. Personal best, so congratulations to both of them. Just missing breaking 2 minutes. 2 minutes, .05. I know that is some bittersweet stuff right there. Then Michaela Rose of LSU. They got an LSU athlete in the 800. Very good, very nice with third. 2 minutes, .85 seconds. And then we have a whole host of the rest of the field there. But this is going to be very interesting because both of them have competed against each other. Sometimes when you get competitors on the same team, it really produces some beautiful results. So we're going to see those Stanford athletes, the freshmen, over time. So now let's go over to the mile, and then we got the 60 and the 200. So right here in the mile, we got Olivia Howe. Congratulations for that win for Illinois. Shout out to U of I. That was a school that I did not realize they gave me a full ride scholarship. Things happen at home. They hid it from me because they did not want me to go to U of I, which I think if I went to U of I, I would have stayed there. Unlike SIU, I winded up not going anymore. But anyway, that's some personal stuff. But anyway, Olivia Howe, shout out to the Illinois athletes. We got one of the coaches to come back to coach there. And as you can see, immediate results, 434 flat, the junior. Now, a lot of people were saying, hey, Tui could have probably destroyed the field, and this is not even her event and everything. Look, you just get the athletes that show up. These are the gladiators that show up in the field, and all you got to do is compete against who's there. Also, these times are what, 6 to 8 seconds. They could be what, somewhere around 6 to 8 seconds faster. Maybe Tui could have won, but it wouldn't have been like a blowout like some people were saying. I saw that in the comment section. People were complaining about, hey, Tui should have done this and got it. And I'm like, like that's not how things work all the time. And this is altitude, so times are a little bit slower. But anyway, 434 flat, which is still a facility record there for Olivia Howe. Lauren Gregory in second. She's always been around for Arkansas. She's always been in that thing. One of my friends was like, man, has she been there for 6 years, 6 seasons? She got red shirt, COVID year, all of that. And I'm like, I don't know if she's been around that long, but she is a senior. I think she did get a red shirt. Then we got Flomena Esacol in third, 435.18. So those are your athletes in there. And let's see. Nope. Here we go. And there's Olivia Howe. Just got to put her on the screen for Illinois. Now let's go back over here, and we're going to the 60 meters. And then I'll get back to what you said about the twins and everything here. See, I'm kind of still limited. I can't wait till maybe I should start doing these live streams. Like I said, I would do them on Patreon so I can actually do some actual coverage of these, or on Zoom or something like that. Because what I want to do is actually have the races and play them live, and then do the commentary on the races and everything like that. And I know some people are doing them on Instagram and everything. I'm just choosing not to do Instagram. That's not really a platform where I see something result from, just to be honest. So here we go. Where are we at? So we got Julian Alfred. Let's put her up on the screen. Here. I think this is the second image. Yeah. So we got Julian Alfred. She's got the win. She's the only athlete in collegiate history to break 7 seconds. Now, I will note that that's altitude. Same thing with Aaliyah Hobbs, having the altitude and everything. But she's right on Hobbs' tail. Did she match the time, or is she just like a 100th of a second there? This, regardless, because this is the same facility that Hobbs was running on. So that means those times relative to each other are still like there, and she's running in a collegiate sector where they got to be running all of these events. And sometimes I really just think and say, hey, look, the collegiate athletes, I would think, are, you know, more prepared than the professional athletes a lot of times. I think we have this, I'll say it this way. I said it the other day and I'll say it again. I don't really subscribe to that specialist mindset where you could be a 100-meter specialist, a 400-meter specialist, and all of this. Like, those are people trying to sell you something. Maybe it's a coach that's trying to sell you, or an agent trying to sell you on something, and then we just repeat it as the track and field commentary, or even the fans that are out there repeating it. But there is no such thing as a, quote, specialist. The time is proving it again. A sprinter running in the 400 can come down and murk the field in the 100. A 100 athlete can move up in the 2 or the 400 and start dominating. A sprinter is a sprinter. A distance runner is a distance runner. Those are the only specialists. And the mid distance can sometimes come down to the sprint field and decimate, particularly in the 400. Sometimes the mid distance person can come up, or the sprinter could come up to mid distance and occasionally distance. That really doesn't happen that much, and then start to do pretty well there. We just don't see it as much right now. But I think if we can find the coaching along the lines with it, we can see it. But there's no such thing as a specialist. There are athletes that are just, they are better. Shelly Ann Fraser-Price comes to mind with this. And then I'll get back to Alfred in a second because I want to respect her. Shelly Ann Fraser-Price comes to mind when I think of somebody that was a so-called specialist. People would argue up and down. You would think, hey, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price is a 100-meter specialist. There's no argument because she's got the most medals out of any athlete in the 100. I would argue that's just the field, the event that she was good in, not that she specializes in that, because clearly her coach kept trying to put her in the 200, and she won the 200, albeit Allison Felix did pull up at that one, although people were still saying, hey, maybe Allison Felix wouldn't have won. I can't say that for certain. She pulled up. That's the only thing we know. Because so many people would say, oh, no, it's easy to say now. But so Shelly Ann Fraser-Price ran what? That 22 flat, which for a while, the time she was running, that's still competitive. Y'all got to remember at that time, people are saying, oh, she wasn't as fast or whatever because she didn't break 22. Yeah, Felix could break 22 or run very quick times, and Shelly Ann Fraser-Price couldn't. But they're not going to run their best time every time. So Shelly Ann Fraser-Price is another example of she's a 100-meter strong woman. Right? She's a 100-meter strong woman, but not a specialist. Justin Gatlin, he started to focus on the 100, and I think that just shows it's easier to run the 100 than the 200 with those turns. It's on your hip. Think about how your hip is. A lot of those 200 athletes, as they get older, they start getting those hip injuries or other issues. Same thing with Tyson Gay starting to go toward the 100. You see a lot of that happening as careers go on. They start to stop doing it. Asafa Powell, last thing, and then I'll get back to NCAAs. Asafa Powell is an athlete that was just so dominant in the 100, but he still kept running the 200 for a while, and then maybe he or his coach, I don't know, decided, hey, we're just going to stop the 200 altogether because you're not running it in a competitive way, so we're just going to focus on this. I would say he's the closest to arguing that somebody is a specialist in any event. But other athletes, it's just, hey, this is my strong suit, and then you put me in something else, I might be able to perform. So Julian Alfred, she's got the range from the 60 to all the way up to the 400 meter, as a sprinter should. That's in my opinion. I subscribe to that, especially on the team aspect, because she did run the 4x4. Now, she ran this 6.94, a 6.94. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit more. I don't even know if that helped. This 6.94 right here. Personal best, collegiate lead, equaling the world lead right now, but obviously drug testing things, so they're not going to allow that to actually be there. But for commentary standpoint, they're going to say, hey, look, there you go. So championship record, obviously that means she has her national record as well. I just wonder if they count it because of the drug testing regulations or whatever. I don't know how they do that. But she's over here proving that she could be a dominant force. She's at least in the range of Aaliyah Hobbs right now, which is very, very good considering her strong points. She's got a lot of work to do as far as her form. She is a very, very strong runner. I think in the past, I remember competing with athletes, and our ladies team competed against athletes, and they were very strong. That reminds me of the British athlete in the 400 from the early 2000s to early 2010s. I'm forgetting her name right now, but she was a strong athlete, if I'm not mistaken. And sometimes they're like, "Hey, she's wasting all of her form. She's wasting all of her form, and she's still able to run fast." And I'm like, she's a muscle athlete. She's a large engine. You see it in her shoulders right here. You see it in her arms, and she's one of those muscle athletes. So muscle athletes can strong arm themselves away to fast times. But if she starts to tire out, as was noted by I think O'Brien, when she starts to tire out, her form goes to complete zero. It's like she goes from, okay, her form needs some work, to she's fighting against herself. So that's going to be her weakness outdoor. But congratulations to her on the 694. Now setting the record every time she came out and ran prelims, semis, and finals. Then we got Kayla Jackson of Georgia, freshman, very nice, 7.08. And then we got Jason Sears, 7.10 from Tennessee. Favor Ophelia, I'm wondering, she's finding her wings. And I'll just note this: I personally really think that Favor Ophelia is a 400-meter athlete. I'm gonna say it again: she's a 400-meter athlete. She made it when she was 16 years old. She made it to the 2019 Doha World Championships in the 400. And she made it to the semifinals with a big personal best. Her 400 barely improved by 100th or 1,000th of a second or something like that. She barely, or 10th or 100th of a second, I forget. But I think LSU does produce 100, 200 athletes. So they're making her very strong in that. But I think if I were to look at her, I would still say I think her strong suit is still going to be the 400. She's got a slender body that's going to be good for letting off as far as a weight advantage when it comes to that. But I think her best events, she can run as any sprinter should be able to. She can run the 1 and the 2. But in my opinion, her best event is going to be the 400. So as a pro athlete, hey, I can always be wrong. She could work with somebody else. You guys could disagree. I think Favor Ophelia should be a 2 and a 4 athlete if she's going to go and compete at the pro level. I think we could see her at a level like a Shanae Miller-Weibo, where she goes in the 2 and the 4, and Shanae Miller-Weibo can compete in both of those and definitely dominate in the 4. I think that's where her biggest strength is. Because when I see her run these, I sometimes get surprised at where she's placing in these events until I start to remember. Like, okay, yeah, there she is. So let me go here. Oh, yeah, and as far as earlier, so like I said, for the people that are just joining, smash the like button, share with other people. We just went over the 60 meter. We went through the 60 meter hurdles already. The last event we got here, the last two are the 4x4 on the women's side. Then we're going to the men. We got the 4x4, and I'm about to cover the 200 meter dash for the women. But yeah, I think Favor Ophelia definitely needs to stick to that 400 once she's out of LSU. While she's at LSU, take advantage of that, the sponsorships and everything like that. But definitely her strongest event going to be there. So let's go over to the 200. And there's a reason why I say that here. Because she's a good 200 meter runner, and she's much stronger in that. Now, getting back to this. Julian Alfred just set the collegiate record in the 200-meter dash. Now, people immediately talked about you know who, because last year she beat Favor Ophelia in the 200. And Ophelia, I think she could do better with the better curves, because she ain't really too good of a curve runner at all. From what I've seen, she kind of suffers from the curve. But when she gets in the straight, she can actually start doing some damage. So we're going to see how Alfred and Ophelia start to go there. But Ophelia is starting to remind me of a Talu or somebody like that. Like, unless she's in her element, which I still say is the 400, she's going to be like the runner-up athlete. And she could get a win. She can definitely get a win. But right now, she's like, hey, I'm the runner-up. I'm the runner-up. Somebody else is the big name. And it's like runner-up versus whoever. So it's like no matter whoever the name is, it's like they wind up getting a win over Ophelia in these events. And I really think that she should be able to come away with the win. But anyway, Julian Alfred, yet another one. And this was just, again, Ophelia was in that. Autumn Wilson was in that 60-meter. A lot of these athletes that are right here, actually these top three, I think there was one other athlete, and I can't recognize the name. Maybe it was Kayla Jackson, yeah, that were just in that 60-meter. That 60-meter only happened a few minutes before the women's 200. They really didn't even have a whole 30 minutes or 20 minutes to rest and relax from there. So a lot of people were looking at Julian Alfred coming into this 200 and saying, that 60-meter might take something out. And when she starts to die off in her form, she starts to fight against herself. So this should help out Ophelia. And you know what? I was kind of thinking that. And then I said, I don't know. Because Alfred looked very relaxed in that. And the 60 is not the 100. The 60 does take a lot out of you, but it doesn't do the same thing. It doesn't do the same damage that the 100 does. Now, if this was the 100, I would have definitely started saying Ophelia should be able to pull away from this if Alfred starts to tie up. Otherwise, Ophelia just is beaten into second place, which happened here. So Alfred set the collegiate record, obviously world leading, pending, of course. Personal best and everything. So congratulations to her. Ophelia in second. But that 22.01, damn. Even with the altitude adjusted marks, she still beats you-know-who's time from last year with the collegiate record. So let's see what happens outdoor. Alfred is setting herself up to be a very, very good contender for people to place bets on. Then we got Favor Ophelia 22.2 in second. So congratulations to her. Autumn Wilson in third for Georgia, 22.45. And then so on and so forth with the rest of the field. And by the way, my name is Nick. I know you said you could not remember my name, but there you go. So the last event we're covering right here on the women's side, going over to the men. And by the way, anybody that just joined, we will have videos every single day. We're doing live streams every single Sunday. Okay? For the rest of the season, unless if I don't do a live stream, just check the community tab for any announcements and everything like that. But we have content coming out every single day. So if you don't get notified, because I haven't been posting as much, this is what I would like you all to do. Just go over to the video tab or the live tab. I'm probably not doing lives in the middle of the week. So just go over to the video tab and just check every day, because I will be having videos posted. I had to delay the other day because my audio, I guess something happened to the file, and I couldn't get it to sync. So I'm just re-recording those, and then everything is already set. Content's coming every single day, with the exception of like one or two here and there. So anyway, here's the 4x4. Now this 4x4, coming into this, leading into the 4x4, here's the setup. We had Texas, which was predicted to take this meet by 20 or 25 points or something like that before the meet had begun. And so Texas was looking like the strong favorite, because that's a strong favorite to have that much of a lead over there. You would say, okay, maybe they could give back some of it. But usually when you have a strong favorite coming in, they still come away and win. That's why this was a surprise that Arkansas winded up winning this meet. When you got a Texas, this is why we race. I love it. especially the collegiate level, because you would think, hey, world record holder, this and that. At the pro level, they could lose. And I enjoyed this meet. So coming into this, if Arkansas got second and Texas won, it would have been a tie. Because they had that 2-point difference, and 10 for first, 8 for second, and so on and so forth, whatever. However they do those things. So if they got second, they would have got a tie. If Texas won and Arkansas got third or below, Texas would win. If Texas obviously got second and Arkansas got third, same thing. It had to be a 2-place difference in order for Texas to just outright win versus just tie. They did not get it. Now, but on here, we had Britton Wilson, which just ran that 49.48 as the anchor. I mean, that was kind of like a wrap right there. But before that, you had Texas basically in last place in their section, which was section 3. You had Texas in last place. And I'm like, dang, their first leg, I guess they put their slowest person first, or I don't know how it went. But they had themselves out of contention. Then on second leg, they got stuck behind Texas A&M and USC. No, that was third leg. That was Julian Alfred. She was trying to pass them up, but she was stuck. The athletes were not giving her enough room to actually move. And that's why I said Julian Alfred, like all sprinters, they're supposed to have range from the 60 all the way up to the 400. If you're a sprinter, you got to run everything. And Wilson, she's going to be a freaking danger, okay? She's going to be a freaking danger when it comes to this 400 hurdles. Well, at least the 400, I can say that. The 400 hurdles, let's see how that translates to, because, you know, sometimes, like Dalilah Muhammad, she could run the 400 hurdles, and then she runs the open 4, and it's like, if it's not on the relay, and then it's like, yo, what's going on? You can't even match your personal best time in the 400, like 400 hurdles. So she runs really well in that. Also, come to find out, she doesn't like 400 repeats in practice, but she likes 1,000 repeats. So I guess that makes sense. I don't like mile repeats, and I'm not really that good in a mile, and I can run a faster mile in my 2 mile and 5K than I could run in an open mile. It's very weird, but it's a psychological thing. So I don't know how it's going to translate, but Britton Wilson, I do agree with you, Lisa. She is a beast because she ran that 202 in the 800. She runs now a 49.48 altitude, remember. I don't know how that matches up in the 400. I don't know if it balances or the 400 is like that perfect event where it doesn't give a slight advantage to. I don't know. And then she comes on this 4x4. I don't think there was anybody going to beat her at the end of that 4x4. Texas would have had to have at least a 2-second lead coming into the anchor in order to say, hey, we're going to take her. I would say a 1.5 seconds actually, because all of them are running tired, so they're not going to be running at their times and whatnot. But if somebody's within range, you know how it goes. You can kind of pull something extra out. You got to target that person's running so you don't catch them, and you're relaxed, so to speak. You don't have to think and say, okay, I got to run. I know how it is to be chased or in the lead versus you're chasing somebody else. If you're chasing somebody else, they're doing all the mental work saying, hey, there it is, and it's a target on their back. So that's the only way Texas could have won. And by the way, championship or collegiate record. They've smashed the collegiate record, which I forgot if I think Arkansas actually had the indoor collegiate record, but they smashed this by over 2 seconds. 3:21.75. Congratulations. Right, 3:21.75. I want y'all to remember that because some people forgot that this was going on. It was so many records set that I didn't have enough time to do all the announcements. I got them scheduled. So that will be in a community post. But congratulations to them. Now let's go over to the men's side. So we're going to do a very similar thing. I'm going to go through the men's side a little bit quicker. Okay. So this is the men's pole vault. We got Sandre Gudersman. dang. Gutterson from Princeton, the senior, 6 meters even. That's 19 feet 8.25 inches. That is a personal best. That equals the collegiate record. So congratulations to him. And I'm telling you, these it is a very, very, y'all really should just get into pole vault a lot. Pole vault is very, very, very good, especially if you all don't see the vault. Some of you all are don't have it as much. Jamaica isn't as strong in the pole vault for the Jamaican contingency for the ones that live in Jamaica. But if you're in the U.S., go to some of these street vault competitions. Man, it will lighten you up. I'll say it that way. We got Zach Bradford, 5.91 meters personal best. Kyle Raidmeyer for South Alabama. Oh, that was Texas Tech for Bradford. South Alabama, 571. Congratulations to those top three. And then we got a whole host of other athletes: Stevenson, Sims, Witskin, Daniel Brown, and so on and so forth. But definitely check that out. I was looking at the Masters because the Masters Championships is going on now in the U.S. as well. Man, we got some of these 50-year-olds. Do y'all know these 50-year-olds are going 5 meters plus? Some of them, they're going 16, 17, 18 feet and whatnot. I'm like, dang! Somebody set the Masters age group world record or something like that at the championship. So I was looking at that too. My friend is running there, so I was looking at that. We got a couple of high school phenoms. They're running at the Masters Championship. I forget what's his name. It was an American high schooler. He's run 20 point a few times. He's trying to come back now, I guess, out of retirement. He was there. Once I remember his name, I'll bring him up. He ran a 6.77, so he wasn't in the best shape. He said he was going for, I guess, 6.5 something, but didn't quite tune up. But I told my friend, I said, look, give him 2 or 3 more years or seasons to get himself back in. I think it was better for him to run there than maybe at a pro meet, or try to get to a pro meet if he could qualify for it, because then he'll get blown out versus he could run more relaxed. Because getting blown out doesn't necessarily help pull you. It kind of may be demotivating. But here's the long jump results. We got Kerry McLeod for Arkansas with the win. That's the collegiate lead right there. 8.4 meters, 27 feet 6.75 for Arkansas. Cameron Crump in second for Mississippi State, 8.39 meters, and then Jeremiah Davis for Florida State. And that's your 1, 2, and 3. Not really too much to say there. I'm gonna miss some of the records here on the men's side. So now we're going to the weight throw. Shout out to Connie Price Smith, my old one of the weight throw coaches at SIU Carbondale. Her herself, she's Olympic fourth twice. I know she's missed that. It's like, man, but she's at Ole Miss now. So anyway, we got Isaiah Rogers, Kennesaw State, 24.23 meters in the weight throw. Bobby Colantino, 23.4 for Alabama. And then we got Tariq Robinson O'Hagan, 22.96 for Ole Miss. That's your top 3. Congratulations to you all. Tyler Sutters for Illinois U of I athlete right there in the final. Okay, we got a couple of other Midwest athletes. Eastern Michigan for Stevenson, and then Coyle for Wisconsin. So that's actually pretty good seeing that. Rabbit, if you don't stop. Hold on, y'all. Okay, we got the high jump. Let's go over with this. We got Lamar Diston. He seems to actually really dominate in this high jump. So, oh, wait a minute, not him. This is a women's thing here. That's why I'm like, she seems to dominate here. My mistake. Here we got the men's high jump. Because I'm like, okay, here we go. High jump, high jump, high jump. There we go. We got Romaine. That's where we are. Romaine Beckford, South Florida. Don't really recognize this name too much, unlike Distant. Some people gonna get on me for Distant. They're gonna be like, wait a minute, how did you not know that was a woman? And I'm like, look, when you read names and then you in the mindset you get there, that's why I'm like, seems to dominate. And then I'm like, wait a minute, caught myself. But anyway, Romaine Beckford, 2.24 meters, South Florida for the American, 7 feet 4 1/4 inch. Then we got Vernon Turner, Oklahoma, 2.21 meters. Then we got Devin Loudermilk, 2.21 meters as well. And then another a tie for third on the countback. So they eliminated between second and third here on the countback for that. So here's Trey Allen, a tie for third. So they split those points. If I'm not mistaken, whatever you would get for a tie, you both equally share it instead of you both getting it. So that kind of split Kansas and Louisville's points right there. But congratulations to those 4 athletes right there for pretty much getting those top 3 spots. All right. Man, if this thing just didn't load up all the time like that. We got the men's triple jump. Lisa Blackman said, I like the field events. It's better to go to the stream apps to watch the meets because it shows everything. Yeah, I like to watch the older people run too. There's a 72-year-old man that 200 in the 27s. Dang. 27s. Do y'all know how hard it is to break 30 seconds in a 200? Like, I didn't realize how hard it is to break because I've always been able to, as far as anytime I've tried, like my first 200 was 24 flat-ish. And of course that the time could have been slightly off, but at the very least under 25 seconds and somewhere in the 24 range. And that was my first 200. Like the first one I did. So I never had trouble doing it. But then I saw, and that was a freshman in high school. But then I saw other freshmen. They could not break 30 seconds. And in my head, I couldn't compute. But then I didn't realize how many adults they cannot break 30. So you get a 72-year-old man running that in the 27s. Man, that is quick. But yeah, it's a lot harder to break from a outsider perspective as a general person, like you just watching or something, to break 30 seconds in a 200. Man, that is crazy. I gotta actually look that one up. So we got the men's triple jump, and yeah, the field events, those are my favorite events. Everything in track and field, the field events and the marathon, when it comes to athletics overall, are my favorite out of everything. So it's not even the running events. So it's kind of ironic because I started off with the heavy running favorite, and then it's like, nah, field events. So anyway, Jaden Hibbert with the win and the collegiate record with this, 17.54 meters. So this is very interesting right here. And that was a blowout to everybody else. A blowout to the rest of the field. Almost a full meter on everybody else. Almost an entire meter on everybody else for Arkansas. And that's Jaden's a freshman. Now, I can't recall if he's a red shirt, but I don't think so. Now, here's Salif Main, Furley Dickinson, 16.79. Then we got Wayne Owens for Virginia, 16.69. Let me stick for just a moment here. If you get a freshman coming in and doing this, now again, this is an altitude boost. So I think he got boosted, what is that, 0.2 meters off of his normal personal best. Correct me if I'm wrong. So he's got a pretty sizable 1 foot boost off of this, but still, coming in as a freshman and being able to get into the 17s and everything like that, that's going to bode very, very well. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes out for Jaden, barring injury here, to see how he's going to potentially go over to the pro. Yes, I am already looking at that, because when you see somebody standing away from the field like this, and all of them are on altitude. You had the USA championships at altitude, and you can see this compares to those times. So it's not like, okay, this is altitude, then he's not competitive. Yeah, he's competitive at the USAs. So this is going to be very, very interesting to see how his career progresses. I'm already ready for this to pop up. Then we got the men's shot put. So we got Jordan Geist here, 21.15 for Arizona. Jonah Wilson for Nebraska, 20.91 for that put. Then we got Turner Washington coming back again from the weight throw. Arizona State, but this time getting a bronze, 20.72. And then we got all the other All-Americans there. A lot of personal best, a season best. Congratulations to them in the shot put. Let's move over to the rest of the events over here for that. So let's go over to the heptathlon, actually. Okay, now this one is very, very interesting. We got Kyle Garland. Now he broke. Oh, why am I going for a blank? Somebody help me. Our American that used to hold the world record, and then why am I going blank on him? Oh, that's a little embarrassing. I should really know him because I was really who is our American guy? But y'all, I know somebody's gonna come in with the name either in the live stream or after. But I'm going blank. Let me move on. But he broke his collegiate record. Then he came back later and ran in the 4x4 and was tearing it up, actually. Ran in the open 4 and tore it up, if I'm not mistaken. So 6,639 points. He broke our Americans' collegiate record in the heptathlon here. Personal best, collegiate lead, facility record, world lead, meet record, championship record, all of those. Congratulations to Kyle Garland of Georgia. Then we got Aiden Owens DeLerme from Arkansas in second, 6,518 points, some much needed points for Arkansas that ended up winning the meet. Then we got Leo Newbar of Texas, 62-14. So let's go here. I'm going to remember it in the middle of this, even if you guys don't even bring it up. So what event should I do next? I think I'm going to do the same that I did the last time. So I'm going to cover some of the distance events first and then go to the sprint. So let's go to the men's distance medley relay. We're just going to go over that. We're going to go with Oklahoma State with the win, 9:28.77. Ole Miss in second, 9:31.63. Wisconsin always pretty strong in the distance events for the Midwest, 9:31.77. So they put it together right there. I have no surprise on this side. No surprise on this side. So let's go here. Let's go over to the 5,000. Oh, wait a minute. Why am I clicking the win? I keep thinking that this is going back further, but this little ad blocker thing and then this scroll. Let's just drag this. Here we go. Let's go over to the 5,000. Okay, here's the men's 5,000. We got Dylan Jacobs with the win, 13:37.59. Something tells me that was like a meme or something. Tennessee for Tennessee. Then we got Casey Klinger for BYU, the sophomore, 13:38.12. Then we got Drew Bosley, Northern Arizona, 13:38.62. And this really came down to that kick in that last round. Really 800 or so meters, but you could say 600. All right, let's go over to the 3,000. Then we got Fawad Masadi for Oklahoma State, 7:48.10. Drew Bosley, 7:48.34. Jackson Sharp, 7:48.66. Casey Klinger coming back from the 5,000 just the day before. BYU, 7:49.37, and then so on with the rest of the field. They kind of left this down to a kick, really, and they came into that home straightaway. This is a very nice one to watch. So if you get to watch that 3,000, the men's 3,000, that was a very entertaining 3,000. Same thing with the mile. Actually, they actually had that one. I didn't really like how it went until really the end. The 3,000 was a little bit better to watch here because they actually kind of put out some. They were going a little bit quicker. That mile, they kind of held back in. But matter of fact, let me go over the mile results now. This was good for Washington, actually, because they could have been a little bit closer, but they had their field there. I think they had this field going slower so that they can keep the team points within Washington. I think that's why it went there. You got so many Washington athletes. You had 4 athletes for Washington. Here's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and then there's 4. I think they kept the field slower. It said his name is Charles Alley. It's on YouTube. No, that's not who. If you're talking about the previous American record holder. Hold on, let me see. Let me see something. Let me see. Who am I? Ashton Eaton. There we go. Didn't Ashton Eaton hold the collegiate record for the heptathlon before? That's who I was thinking of. Yeah, I think that's who I was thinking of. If I am not mistaken. Yeah, I think he had the collegiate record in the heptathlon, and that's the record that he broke. But Charles Alley, I'm not sure what you were. Oh, Charles Alley. I think you're referring to the 70-something-year-old man, right? Yeah. I just had to look something up. But anyway, let me get back to this. The men's 1 mile. So I think the strategy was that Washington, in order to be a team competitor, to actually go up in a team score, they tried to put it there, which it didn't quite work out as well as they would have liked, but it still was pretty good because they got 1st, 4th, 5th. It would have been better if they got 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, and 4, because then their points would have really been boosted. But they still got all the points that were available because it goes down to 8. So they got points for all of them. It wasn't quite enough to be a contender on the team score, but that's how sometimes the distance heavy schools do it. So Luke Hauser for Washington, 5:04:03:33. It did feel like it was a 5-minute mile kind of watching it, though. Not going to lie. I think they could have went out a little faster, but they all grouped it up, and it was like a mad dash at that line. They came off of that curve with, barely 40, 50 meters to go, and then they just tried to sprint it in. And it just became, hey, whoever could sprint better. So 4:03:33 for Hauser, Washington, Isaac Baston of Drake, 4:03:36. Then we got Anas Asai, South Carolina, 4:03:61. Like, you can see how close these times are. Joe Wascom for Washington, Green, Murphy, Cook, Fate. There you go. That's your results there. I think I covered all the distance events, did I not? Oh, let's go over to the 800. Then we got nothing but sprints. So we got the 800. Here we go. So we got Yusuf Bizamana for Texas, 146.02 with the collegiate lead. Creighton Carroza, 146.78 for Texas. So they went 1-2. Then we got Handel Robin, 147.22. Congratulations. some movements around here, got some people DQ'd and everything like that. Hey, that happens in the 800. That's a very physical event. The 4x4 qualifying for the NCAAs and whatnot, just that the championships a few weeks ago, man, they were like pushing and shoving and punching and everything like that. So, hey, let's go down to the 400. It's like we're going in the distance in reverse. So we had Elijah Goodman, or Goodwin. Now, this one was actually a very, very, he was running out in lane 6. So he ran in lane 6 and he cut in perfect. He had a perfect cut in from where he could cut in. Because a lot of times in the pro field especially, sometimes in the collegiate field, they just try to cut somebody in just so the other person doesn't have a chance to get in front of them, which I understand why they're doing it. But then you're actually running extra in the distance, whereas if you cut in perfect, you might run just slightly under the designated distance. So instead of running 400 meters, you run in 398, 391, or 399. Hey, if I could get off a couple of that and it's fair within the rules of the sport, hey, I'm doing it, right? So we got Elijah Goodwin of Georgia. Really just ran that. 44.75. Okay, that was in section 1. Ryan Willie won section 2, but not quite good enough to beat Georgia. So he's running for Florida. 44.93. That was a very good one because this whole field was kind of like packed up. From section 1 again, Matthew Moore for Baylor got 3rd. So that section 1 was really making the guys in section 2 work for it, and they really proved it. Usually section 2 is the one, or the sections after the first ones are usually the ones that, run really well. So this one was very interesting, but they were kind of more packed up in section 2, which for indoor, that doesn't work as well in the 400. It really doesn't work as well. But Moore winded up getting a 45.08 and a new personal best. They said, come on, remember to kiss the diamond. I know, right? Okay, so definitely smash that like button if you're here. You are reminding me of the kiss the diamond, everything that we had before. Yes. So anyway, here we go. Now, I think the hype that everybody was going for has paid off. Yeah, the hype that everybody was going for paid off with Matthew Boland. This was actually more quiet. I'm surprised that more hasn't been said with Boland winning the 200. This one was very tame. Because normally when Matthew Boland does something or whatever, and then he doesn't perform at the championships, which is often the case. He just does not perform at the championships. This one was quiet. Did y'all hear anything about Matthew Boland all over the place? Because I'm telling you, and I casually follow some things. So if I operate in the casual normie area sometimes, I know that, and I hear some things, that means I know it's big. Like, for example, I didn't even know the Winter Olympics were going on because the U.S. decided to boycott China because the U.S. is a failing empire, and it decided, hey, China's catching up or whatever, and we like to do regime change and assassinate people. So we're just going to boycott China because they're catching up to us. So I didn't even know the Winter Olympics was going on because I got all these other things going there. I didn't realize it until after. I caught up to all the Winter Olympic stuff way after the fact within this month. And I'm just like, wait a minute. So if I'm a casual normie person, I didn't hear anything about Matthew Boland. That's the reason why I brought all of that up. Because normally as a casual person or a normie, you would hear a lot of hype. Because if it gets that loud, that means a lot of people are talking about it. But nobody seemed to really be pushing Matthew Boland like that. And I think it's maybe they're waiting until after this weekend is over or something. But maybe because he's kind of set himself up and kind of disappointed so many times with some of the people that were the Matthew Boland bots. that they just are like, okay, he won now. Great. Let's wait for him to see if he could do something outdoor. What do you guys think on that one? They're saying, hey, let's wait for him to do something outdoor. So, because he ain't indoor. Yeah, that's great. But anyway, personal best. He got the world leading time for that. This ain't no slouch time either. The 20.12. Now, altitude again. All of these times are altitude, but still, they're counting them as there. 20.12 is not a slouch. That is quick. That is quick, y'all. That is quick. Obviously, not the collegiate record, even with that. But he's got the win. Congratulations to Bowling for Georgia. We got Tarsis Oregot for Alabama, potentially Orego. Sometimes, depending on countries, they pronounce the T or not. Just like I found out, Tobago could be pronounced Toboho. I guess it's South Africa. For the people that are in South Africa, you let me know. Because I was told by some people that it might be Toboho. And I'm like, well, he's not in South Africa, so it might be pronounced differently. But anyway, 20.2. Robert Gregory of Florida. Always showing up ever since he came into the collegiate sphere. 20.22. Congratulations to those athletes there. Udodi Onwuzurike. Oh man, I just mispronounced that one real bad. I'm not even going to pronounce myself. Isn't this an athlete? This athlete right here running for Ghana, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, either on the live or after the recording. So let's move on. So let's go here. What we got left? We got the 60-meter hurdles. Let's go ahead with the 60-meter hurdles. Here, I almost clicked the women again. Okay, we got Gianna Roberts with the 7.55 with the win for Clemson. Caleb Dean of Texas Tech, 7.59. Actually, I thought Dean might have actually, coming into this, Dean had a chance of actually winning. Omatade, unfortunately, 60-meter hurdles or 60-meter hurdles. You know what happens with those. Then we got Darius Luff with Nebraska, the junior, 7.60. So congratulations to these men. I don't really have too much to say on the 60-meter hurdles at all. So I'm going to move on to the 60 meters. Then we're going to get to the 4x4, and then we're out. All right, we got the 60-meter indoor. We got Terrence Jones of Texas Tech. So that equaled the collegiate lead. Okay, great. So 6.46. 646. Very, very interesting. 646. Man. Now I need to see what time. What do y'all think about this 646 right here with a Terrence Jones? Now this is some altitude right here, and I'm making a mention of this, and I didn't do it with Aaliyah Hobbs, unfortunately. I wanted to celebrate more of how she won and everything, but to be fair, that time was an altitude. But what do y'all think about this 646 with Jones? Do y'all think this is going to translate very well? Let's just take the altitude element out. Do y'all think this is going to transfer very well to see him do anything in outdoor? Specifically, not the NCAAs. I'm talking about at any of the national champs or world championships. Because I'm just wondering now, because he blew out the field. This is not, oh yeah, I just kind of came for a walk in the park. No, he blew out the rest of the field. We got Jordan Anthony in second. And if you see, y'all need to see the 60 meter and just see that there was no competition at all. Because, yeah, you see a 10th in the 100, which that's a huge blowout. And then you see a 10th in the 60. And it's just like, wait a minute. You got enough time to say something. And then say, oh my goodness. And the rest of the field is still running. So I just wonder here. I think I might do something on Terrence Jones of Texas Tech sometime this week. But then we got Jordan Anthony of Kentucky in second, 655. PJ Austin of Florida, 656. And then the rest of the field, I will make a mention of Houston because I see the athletes up there practicing and everything here and there. Because actually, I've gone up to the facilities. I haven't said anything to the coaches. I really should. Sean Maswagani. I had to actually mentally say that in my head first. So Sean Maswagani of Houston, 657. So I'll shout out to them. Then we got a Midwest athlete, Lawrence Johnson, Wisconsin, showing you that the Midwest, even in the temperatures, can still be competitive because this is indoor especially. And now let's go to the 4x4. Smash the like if you're just joining us. We're almost toward the end. This is our last event we're covering right now. Then we're going to go ahead and head out. After this, I got a few announcements and then we're out. So anyway, I like to load up on some of this. So with the Section 3 one specifically. The Section 2, Oklahoma sliding in there, that was great. But on Georgia, this is actually a pretty good one where we saw, what is his name? I need to go back here because I want to set this one up properly. It was our athlete that won here, Kyle Garland. If I'm not mistaken, he also ran that 4x4. He actually put in a very, very good leg for Georgia to keep them very competitive in that 4x4. So that's why I wanted to mention that. Then, of course, we had our 400-meter champion running for Georgia there. We had our 200-meter champion running there. So we had the Tathlon champion, the 200 and the 400-meter champion running for Georgia's legs. And that kept them within, I guess, a second there. But it wasn't quite good enough to take down Arkansas, which just really extended their lead. They were already in the lead coming into here, but they really just extended their lead here. So congratulations to Arkansas on the 4x4 win. Congratulations to the men and women for Arkansas for sweeping both sides. There you go. 3 minutes, 2.09 seconds. Not quite setting any records at all, but it doesn't matter. They got the win. And then from Section 2, Oklahoma, the winners there, 3 minutes, 2.97 seconds for second. Georgia getting second in the third one, but getting third overall, 3 minutes, 3.1 seconds. USC always having a string of 400 athletes as always. Section 2, second place. They got fourth overall, 303.16. And then so on and so forth. So on and so forth. But this was pretty good. So the quick announcements here. If you don't see anything, we have videos every single day. I ask that you all like the videos, comment there after the streams or anything like that. We have videos every single day. We got breakdowns coming, series coming. We got the Chasing Usain Bolt one. I was considering whether to add music or not, but I decided not to because I actually run 5 different YouTube channels. 3 Telegram groups, 5 Discords, but I'm active in 3 of them actually. And then I do other business outside of that, do stuff with farms, do things with stocks and everything, trying to do a bank. So I got a lot of stuff going on, and it's kind of got me stretched thin. So what I've done is I've recorded so many things ahead of time so that they can come out. But then I also have things that I will be having that I record based on events that happened this weekend. So I will be having a breakdown in the 400 with Femke Bol, Britton Wilson, and so many things like that, especially because both of them do the 400 hurdles. Obviously, I still give Femke Bol the win over Wilson right now because just because of 400s doing that well doesn't necessarily translate over to the 400 hurdles just yet. I can't say anything because I haven't seen it yet. And we know somebody being fast over the 400 doesn't guarantee them a win. Looking at Muhammad and McLaughlin before McLaughlin could start beating her. She's been faster at her at the shorter distances, and she still couldn't beat her until she got into the coaching with Bobby Kersey. Actually, she beat her before she changed coaches. Yeah, that's what it was. But until she really adjusted to really getting in the groove, she could not beat Muhammad. So just because you're faster on those doesn't mean that. But yeah, definitely check every single day. Check maybe between 3 and 6 p.m. if not in the morning. I'm going to try to start coming out with videos in the morning. Like between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. Central USA time. But definitely check in the evening for the video section. Like go to the channel, click the videos because they don't show all the notifications all the time. But anyway, if you guys have suggestions on topics you want me to cover or meets you want me to stream or anything like that, definitely let me know in the comment section or in the community posts. Like, hey, can you do that? Because I will be doing the champs. What is it? The Carifta games. I think it's the 50th annual Carifta, right? So then we got the Jamaican champs that's going on this month toward the end. I tried to do the live stream. I did the Nike Indoor Nationals a little bit. The New Balance Indoor Nationals and Nike Indoor Nationals were both going on at the same time, of course, right? Oh, Ruth Shepnietich winded up winning the marathon. Nice. I found out from my Kenyan counterparts that how to pronounce her name, Shepnietich, if I'm not mistaken, because the announcers usually say Shepnietich. But anyway, anything else you guys want me to cover while I'm still here before I forget anything? I think that is about it. I think that's about it. But yeah, so those are the championships that I know to cover. Some of the meets I will be hit and miss on. I'm usually better toward the end of the season than I am at the beginning. I start to pick up around late April to May. So if you guys are looking for me to really be covering a lot of the meets, it'll be late April to May. But definitely, thank you all for coming out today. Thank you guys for coming out today. Don't forget to check out the athletes that we got here. Olivia Howe, again, shout out to her. Nugent, shout out to her. Shout out to everybody that broke records, including the ones that I may have forgotten out. You've been watching Head and Shoulders ATR, where we cover athletes, performances, coaches, and everything around and in between that are head and shoulders above the rest. And I will catch you all